me for the YouTube subscribers. Well, subscribe already. Hit the fucking like button and subscribe before I knock your ass out, man. I ain't fucking with you, man.
UFC Vegas 37 Smith versus Spann live from the Apex. Weekend off. We had a weekend off, but it was a busy week for myself. NFL got started. It's never a weekend off technically for me personally. Now it's a little more busy. I'll be doing the NFL weekly videos and the UFC weekly videos. So 2 videos from me with free plays. So just more free plays for you guys. You can also check some free plays at my website as well. Last week, 2 weeks ago, very small card. It was the UK card with the Till Brunson main event. Nice win for Brunson. He used his wrestling, that's his advantage, and he showed that Till struggles in that department, and Till did not get better in the wrestling department, and he was able to avoid the KO. Till did threaten the KO there in the 3rd round, if I recall, but the wrestling was just too much. He was able to take him down easily. We did have a bunch of free winners last week or 2 weeks ago on that card. I had a small personal play card, no best bets and no profit that week, going 1-1. Updated record here, guys. It is the same in the best bets department. 51-29 best bets. 14-4 run in the UFC. That's all plays. 14-4 run, plus 38 units lifetime. That's 2 years, guys. 2 years. For this card and subscription options, check out systemsportscapping.com to get my personal plays and best bets. I don't love a ton on this card as of right now and before the weigh-ins. However, we will be going over the main card like we always do. Tell you what to avoid, tell you what I like, and where you can find some value. A little weekly update, guys. PGA was off last week as well. Slower week for me, but I did get to focus on the NFL. Up and down week in the NFL. Very good week in Survivor for me for the Circa. I'm in the Circa contest for the spreads and Survivor. 4-1 in the spreads, and both tickets in Survivor did go through with 49ers and Rams. We do have a PGA best bet pending this week. For this week. 3 outrights in the last 4 events, guys, which is wild. Very tough to hit outrights. When I do, it seems like I go on a streak. I'm expecting some regression in the outright market, but do expect to continue to cash in the PGA. Best bet 70% long-term, almost 2 years, guys. 68% matchup run and plus 64 units in the prop market. Before we get into this card, guys, let's hear from my friend Meredith.
Guys, Meredith Gorman here, and are you still not subscribed to Matt's channel? Well, if you're not, hit the subscribe button because he's giving out free picks each and every week. Hope you have a good rest of your day.
Let's get right into the card, guys. Remember, shop around for the best price. Shop around, make sure you're getting the best price on the market. It does vary, especially in the UFC. You're going to find a lot of different props out there on some books. Lines do vary. I know I have a couple clients that message me sometimes, say, oh, I can't get the rounds 1.5 or 2.5. To be honest, guys, just get a better book. Like, I have 4 or 5 different books that I use, and most of them do have the round prop. So sometimes you do got to have multiple books to get all the benefits. Let's start with the main card, guys. Main card, Smith. Minus 170 versus Spann. Plus 140. There's some plus 150s out there. You got to shop around on that. But I'll go over this main event here for you guys and pretty much break down like this. Obviously, we know Anthony Smith, right? Tons of experience. He does have that main event 5-round experience as well. Seems like that's all he's doing as of late is fighting in main events, but more as an underdog here. Here he's a favorite at minus 170, which I don't love the price. Obviously, Smith does have the better resume, right? No question about that. Fought the much better guys in his long career so far. Fought for a title versus Jones. Span, he's fighting more mid-tier guys. Wins over like Devin Clark, Sam Alvey, and his last fight, which was impressive against Misha Serkinov, who I'm not as high as on. Some people do like him. I don't think he's that great of a fighter, and he showed there. Those are some of his notable wins. He does have that loss to Johnny Walker not too long ago. Smith coming off that big win versus Jimmy Crute, if you guys remember. A lot of people were talking about Crute being the next big thing. I think he still could be super young, right? It just humbled him. Smith humbled him. A veteran with tons of fights showed Crute what he can do. Simple fight for me. Smith has to avoid the big power shot from Span. Span doesn't do anything really good. He has good size. He has power, more of a street fighter style, and he does have some decent takedowns. Smith gets this to the ground. Let's say Span does get this to the ground. I don't think it's smart. I don't think it's a smart thing for Span to get this to the ground. Smith can submit him there, right? Span's only a blue belt on the ground, where Anthony Smith is a high-level black belt. Smith does have around 13 sub-victories on his record. Big advantage for Smith on the ground, in my opinion. Let's say Span does wrestle and get Smith to the ground, which he could, but what is he going to do there, right? It's not a smart path for him. Span's path is to knock him out, right? Smith's just going to have to avoid the big shot. So I think Anthony Smith has a lot more paths to victory here. A lot. Yes, I don't love the price at minus 170. So it's tough for me to pull a trigger on an Anthony Smith favorite, even though I do think he gets the job done here. So you may want to look at outcome finish, and you can get it around plus 120 to stop the fight, TKO or submission. I think more of a submission. You can get submission probably at plus 250 to 275. Still not love that. Don't love the submission. It's hard to always predict if there's going to be a submission. But outcome finish plus 120. I would lean that way. I do think Smith can avoid the big shot. I think he can use his jab well. In that Crute fight, he used that jab tremendously. Now, I don't think Crute was ready for it. Span will. Span will know that jab is there, right? Smith kind of added that jab recently, and it did look really good. He's a very smart fighter, Smith. He's only been knocked out twice in the last, I think it was 10 or 11 years. If I recall, I was looking at it a little earlier. So for Span to just go in and knock him out in the first round, I don't see it. I don't see it happening. Of course, it's UFC. He could catch him. But I just think Smith is the better play here. Don't love the minus 170. I look at the outcome. I don't see it going all five. Span hasn't shown me he can go all five. Span's power does diminish later into the fight. So Span doesn't get the early knockout. The power will diminish, and I think that's where Smith can take over. But yeah, Span's path is a first-round knockout, in my opinion, guys. And I just don't see that happening. I think Smith can avoid it. He has tons of fights and has been in there with the best. So look for Smith to use that jab. If it does get to the ground, maybe a submission or a TKO here. Yeah, I think Smith can hang with him on the feet, avoid that big shot. And I do like Smith to find a path to victory here and avoid the big power from Span. Next fight here, Cutelaba minus 145 versus Devin Clark plus 125. Another matchup at 205. We have a few guys, both these guys need a win if you look at it, right? Devin Clark 2-2 in his last four. Cutelaba 1 win, 2 losses, and a draw. So both guys are going to be coming out here. Could be a decent fight. There's no value really with Cutelaba minus 145. I think it should be closer. Maybe minus 125 for Cutelaba. I think it's more closer to a 50-50 type of fight. 55-45 maybe. I think this line should be a little closer. So I do think it's off there. You're not getting any value, obviously, with Cutelaba. And I think if you think Cutelaba is going to win, you have to take the KO outcome prop. I don't think he's going to win a decision. The reason why I know Cutelaba can wrestle, but Devin Clark can wrestle as well. So I don't think it's going to be a wrestling fight. I think it's going to be on the feet. I think Cutelaba is going to come forward and try out for the early finish. And if he doesn't get the early finish, the longer this fight goes, Cutelaba's win percentage goes down a ton. right? He's very tough to predict. He's not a guy I like to invest in or put my money on in any fight. Both these guys are mid-tier guys. It's not a fight that I'm in love with or gonna have my money this week. But I do lean Cutelaba to get it done. Clark has shown in the past he can be knocked out, so Cutelaba may find the KO here, but it's a fight I don't see going all three, and I would lean Cutelaba to get this fight done, but this fight will not get my money. Next fight here, Lipski minus 120 versus Bohm plus 100. Back-to-back losses for Lipski, right? She's almost in a must-win mode here. 13-7 MMA record isn't great. And you can see when she fights someone with some solid striking, she struggles, right? Tough thing to see for Lipski, right? The back-to-back losses were KOs, both in the second round. She is shown to get hit. She gets hit very easily, and she can't take much punishment, is what I've learned from Lipski over the years here. Bohm, 7-0 fighter out of Germany. UFC debut. She has fought in Bellator, which was her last fight, and then left for the UFC. I think there was some COVID issues with Bellator because she fights out of Ireland, right? She fights out of Ireland and in the McGregor camp with Kavanaugh. So that's interesting here. With Lipski, she's fighting out of Florida now. She's training there, away from Brazil. She was trying to fight over in New Jersey as well, training camp there. She didn't like it. California as well. But she feels comfortable now in Florida, is what she's been telling us this week. It's closer to the Brazil climate, I guess, weather, etc. So she does feel more comfortable in Florida. It's a tough spot, right, to bet. It's not a fight I'm in love with. Women's MMA, two fighters that just aren't that great. Boom, she could be. She's 7-0. 7-0, but 7-0 tells me she hasn't fought a lot, right? She hasn't fought a lot. Lipski's more time in the cage there. Bohm's UFC debut. This is a stay-away fight, guys. Stay away. The line's telling you that. I can't really go one way or the other. Lipski has shown me in the past two fights that she struggles and she's been getting knocked out. So it's not a fight I can bet on. I need to see Bohm in the octagon, in the UFC, and I need to see more from Lipski that she can show me that she can win because she hasn't won for a few years now. So stay away from this one, guys. Arman is back. Arman Tsakarian minus 800 versus Giagos plus 525. Biggest favorite on the card is Arman. I get it. You know, the Armenian top, he's a top level guy. 16-2. I don't really understand why this matchup is happening, to be honest. You can't bet it at this number at minus 800. Biggest favorite on the card. However, you know, we can find an outcome here, and the only value really is the plus money on the finish. One issue though, you know, he doesn't fight to decisions. He doesn't fight the finishes. He fights the decisions. Most of his wins are by decision, picks you apart, moves great in the octagon. So, you know, the outcome here is minus in a decision market. I can't get there. He should be able to finish this guy. He should be able to finish. Garagos will try to wrestle, but Arman's great on the ground. He can find a submission. He does have 5 submissions in his career. So if I think it gets there, he can find a way. He can get a TKO finish as well. You know, Arman's not really known for the power on the feet. He's not going to just knock you out with one shot, but he can work you throughout the fight. So that's something here. But the TKO or submission, I do think is liable. Arman wins this fight. Is just how do you want to bet it? How are you going to go around to bet it? And I'm not laying a minus price on a decision prop. It's crazy. So the only value here would be for Arman to stop Giagos here, and you can get it at plus money on most books here. So I would look that way, and you know, even laying minus 800, you're going to put in your little parlays or 2-5 parlays. It's not going to give you anything back. It's not a smart play. Look at the outcome prop or nothing in this fight, guys. Last fight I'm going to go over here, guys, is Buckley. Buckley is back after that devastating KO. Minus 220 versus Arroyo plus 180. Is he worth this minus 220 line? I don't know. Yes, he has that big leg kick, spinning jump kick KO that he's been known for. But, when you start losing fights, people start forgetting about that. Looks like the books aren't, though. Minus 220. He's coming off that tough KO against the Italian Chucharito. That was a tough finish. That was a big KO. Good thing is Arroyo's not really known for that. Buckley will have the advantage on the feet. Arroyo's more of a submission guy. Is he going to get this fight to the ground, though? Buckley's a big, powerful guy. Obviously, Arroyo has a huge height advantage here. It's just Arroyo hasn't shown me anything. Lost his last 2 fights. I don't see how he beats Buckley here unless he can pull off a submission. If he can get this to the ground and pull off a submission, Arroyo could win this fight. So keep that in mind here. This is not a Buckley straight up, I'm going to bet minus 220 on Buckley. You can't do that, guys. It's not a smart investment. 2-fight parlay, sure. Is it my favorite? No, because there is an upset ability here for Arroyo at plus 180. I say Buckley wins this fight 7 out of 10 times. 7 out of 10 times Buckley wins this fight. So there is some danger there for Arroyo to pull off, I think, a submission. Could be a decision win as well, but Arroyo hasn't shown me anything to tell me why he can beat Buckley. Buckley's still confident in there. It's just, how is he going to bounce back off of that after that big KO? That's also a question. How do fighters bounce back after that big KO? And we'll have to see here. So yeah, Buckley's the play. Am I going to be betting it? Probably not. But if you have to bet this fight, just look at the outcome. You're going to get the KO prop, right? When Buckley wins fights, he's going to win by KO. All right, guys, that will do it for UFC Vegas 37. Like I always say, guys, check out my website, systemsportscapping.com. You can get all my best bets and personal plays right now. We have NFL going. We have UFC going. We have PGA going. NHL's around the corner. NBA and MLB playoffs I may get invested in as well. All right, guys, like I always say, bet smart and know your limits. Take care.